Hello Battle Cats players, my name is Chance and welcome to my guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of your favorite waifus, Windy. This uber rare cat is unlocked by playing the rare cat capsules during the Cyber Academy Galaxy Girls event, also known as the Jiggle Girls event, for no discernible reason as far as I can tell. In any case, it is my hope that throughout exploring really everything there is to know about Windy, you can make a more informed decision not only how to best use her, but how far to invest into her if at all. Let's first get started by taking a look at her evolutionary line, starting out with Windy herself. A galaxy girl who manipulates wind. Her vacuum cannon cleans enemies from a distance, massive damage to floating enemies, area attack. Then at level 10, she will evolve into Windy type Alpha. This strange girl can hear the wind whispering. The wind tells her that it is in pain, massive damage to floating enemies, area attack. Then at level 30, as well as the addition of some Catfruit and XP, she will become Divine Windy. Has a habit of impulse buying the latest mechas, Neo Vacuum Cannon Blasts from a long distance, massive damage to floating enemies, area attack. Now then, let's take a quick overview of Windy's performance. First and foremost, Windy is considered to be a nuker. A nuker is a unit with a slow attack rate but has extreme damage and typically have a boosted damage ability. Under pros, you have many knockbacks, good range, high DPS against floating enemies, and cons, you have long attack rate and animation, and mediocre health for the normal and evolved form. Under other considerations, you have deals massive damage to floating enemies. This enables 3 times damage against floating enemies or 4 times if you have the relevant fruit treasure. Now then, let's talk strategy while watching some gameplay. Firstly, as far as cost goes, Chapter 1 this unit will cost 2,950 cents, Chapter 2 4,425 cents, and Chapter 3 5,900 cents. Now, as far as Windy's playstyle goes, it's really the same as every nuker. So you're going to want to provide a ton of support for this unit in the form of meat shields, and send them out once you feel like they're protected enough. Windy, especially in the true form, is certainly more survivable than many of the other nukers. However, she struggles with a lot of the same problems that they do. The biggest one, of course, being knockback. Cats missing their attacks in Battle Cats is always annoying, but it's especially annoying when a nuker misses. At the end of the day, the best way to prevent knockback from being an issue for this unit and causing it to miss is to simply use crowd control units. While Sanzo comes to mind for this, there are plenty of other cats in the game that specialize against floating enemies that can be used very well in combination with Windy. Windy is best used against the Cyclones, Bun Bun variants, and the Faces as well. As far as enemies that don't typically integrate with her too well, Brolo is probably the one you're going to want to look out for, especially when this unit is spammed. Like, there's not too much you can do about it. I guess just have that cat cannon ready just in case, but ultimately outside of that, there's not a whole lot this unit has to worry about, assuming they're properly protected. The true form just really provides a much needed stat boost to this unit that keep it relevant pretty much until endgame. Ultimately, if you find you're struggling on a floating stage, throwing Windy on your roster might not be a bad idea, and it might actually be that extra DPS you're looking for. Once again, just make sure she has ample protection, and throw in some crowd control units for good measure just to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck out of all of her attacks. Now then, let's move on to talk about cat combos. Windy only has one cat combo, that being Double Typhoon. This is a massive damage effect up involving Windy and Cat Tornado, and it increases the effectiveness of the massive damage effect by 10%. I actually think this is a really good cat combo. Catnado as well as Windy are both really good units, so if you have one, you might as well throw the other one on the team just to get this. As far as Catfruit needed to true form this unit, you're going to need 8 green fruits, which can be obtained every Monday, 4 purple fruits, which can be obtained every Tuesday, 2 red fruits, which can be obtained every Wednesday, 5 yellow fruits, which can be obtained every Friday, and 4 epic fruits, which can be obtained from really any of the growing stages with the exception of Strange and Evil, and during dual Cyclone fights. And once you defeat an ancient curse, or complete an ancient curse rather, you'll gain access to the growing epic stage for a few hours every weekend, and you can get them there as well, and you'll need the 1 million XP for most Ubers. Now then, I'm just going to flash a couple of the screens pertaining to Windy's stats on while reading out some trivia about them as well. This cat's unit takes after Fusion as theme. The vacuum cleaner that is placed around the back or shoulder area is supposed to symbolize Fusion's windbag. Fusion is also commonly portrayed as a pair with Raijin, which is used as Thundia's theme. The plug on Divine Windy's tail matches up perfectly with the outlet on Thundia's. which to me makes me think that maybe, possibly, they might be a couple. I mean, it would be pretty on the nose, if you know what I mean. But I'm also aware that Windy and Thundia are also, I don't know, a lot of people's secret crush, or not so secret in some case. But certainly interesting to think that despite being a game where anti-black is unironically a term we use a lot, might have some more progressive elements to it. Very interesting indeed. As far as talents go, Windy has a 40% chance to freeze for about half a second, and this improves by 0.17 seconds per level up to 2 full seconds for a total NP cost of 235. Attack Up, which adds a 23% attack power boost at 50% health, and this increases by 3% per level up to 50% for a total NP cost of 235. Curse Immunity for 100 NP. And Defense and Attack Buff, which increase their respective traits by 2% per level up to 20% for a total NP cost of 175 each. As far as things to avoid for this unit, don't invest into freeze. It's a trap for Windy. It makes 0 sense. The duration's too short and her attack animation is too long to even take advantage of it. Just throw a CC unit on there. Curse Immunity also doesn't make a ton of sense for this unit. You're not going to be using her on a ton of relic stages anyways, so don't even really bother. Focus instead on Attack Buff and Attack Up, maybe with Defense Buff if you're just looking to burn some NP. In any case, now that you know what I think about Windy, let's hear what all of you have to say about them. Starting out with Mimra here, who actually wrote a very well thought out analysis, says, Windy is a solid anti-floating nuker. She has great damage against them and is very useful in stages like Empire of Cats Chapter 3 Moon and Eldritch Forces. She has a good range, though her animation makes it look bigger than it actually is. She is solid through her niche, and there's a lot of competition because there are a lot of good anti-floating units. She has some good range also. She can be compared to Bahamut a bit, as they are pretty similar, so you can sort of think of her as an anti-floating version of Bahamut. She works great on a lot of enemies like Bun Bun and its variants, Muth and its variants, and lots of the other floating enemies. I'd say she's a high C-tier Uber. She's good, but is outclassed. I couldn't say it better myself. I think if you have her, she's really good. If you have access to like every Uber in the game, yeah, high C tier. I think she's usable for all of the game though. It is one of those things where there's so many damn Ubers in Battle Cats, and there are so many metas that are so clearly defined, that it's hard to make units like this make sense in the grand scheme of things. However, if you do have this particular unit unlocked and you are struggling on floating stages, it's a very good option to pick. Up next, we have Cross/01, who says, a good unit, level up and she gets better. If I remember the lore, she's based on a Japanese legend. Pretty to look at as she blows away the competition. Man, she sucks, she blows, she knows how to clean. Some would say that makes her the perfect woman. Not that I necessarily think that, but I know quite a few people who might. Haas1897 says, she's similar to normal Bahamut, but targeted at floating. She has a long animation and doesn't attack frequently, and often misses if your army pushes forward slightly, again, much like Bahamut. Overall, still satisfied with her damage output, though her animation is misleading when it comes to actual range, and yeah, that's very true. Up next, we have Hamo the Slammo. I have Wendy, but I don't use her. I use her once, and she's decent damage dealer, but health is not good. Yeah, I mean, she's a nuker, right? She's a nuker with good range, so you should just make sure she's well protected, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Dwayne Ong 9162 says, super useful, and I'm happy you think so. The ever-present Bee-Eater says, I have them, I don't use them, they're level 1, same with Thundia. Fair enough, brother. Dyson2621 says, kind of outdated and already in a complete niche, so much competition. Yeah, I kind of agree. Once again, I touched on it earlier. If you have her and you don't have many of the other anti-floating units, it makes a lot of sense to roll with her, but there are a handful of units that do outclass her. And at Freaking says, I don't have it. I wish you the best on getting her soon. And if you would like to be featured in this part of the channel, be sure to check out our community section and comment on the relevant post there. That's really all I have to say about Windy. Thundia will of course be up next. I'm looking forward to doing that video. I'm not going to go wild with the thumbnails because I'm pretty sure it's impacting channel growth. I have no way to prove that, but I'll A/B and test it at another date. In any case, yeah, feel free to like and subscribe for Cat God's blessing on your next gacha roll, and as always guys, I will be talking to you all soon.